welcome to Pia's Creative Corner. My name is Pia and this is about diamond painting. This video is going to be a work in progress or WIP and chat. And to be honest, I've actually thought I did a introduction to my new picture I've begun, but I discovered that I didn't. The last time I did a WIP and chat in English, it was on the honey drip farm. So I'm going to talk a bit more about what I'm doing, the picture I'm doing, the tools I'm using, and then of course if there's enough time I'm doing a bit about myself. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you will find this inspiring and funny and motivating, and yeah, and maybe make you come back and watch the next one. I'm trying to put at least one video in English every week. So I'm doing a WIP and chat, both one in English and one in Danish, and it's two different pictures. So there will be a bit different things to look at, and hopefully you will enjoy yourself. If you're one of my followers, welcome back. I hope you will enjoy this video as much as the other ones. So let's get started. This picture is a Josephine Wall picture. I bought it from Diamond Art Club, and it's one of her zodiac sign. It's the Taurus. It's my sign, and I've seen this completed, and it's really beautiful when it's done. Unfortunately, Diamond Art Club do not have a license agreement with Josephine Wall anymore, so these kits are discontinued. So I'm one of the few lucky ones that actually got my hands on a kit before they sold out. I got this one, I got the one for my hubby, the Gemini, and I got the Aquarius for one of my friends. Unfortunately, I didn't get my hands on the Leo, so I decided to do something else for my childhood friend in Manchester. So, but now I'm doing this one, and I am enjoying it so much. It has 64 colors. It is 70 by 88 centimeters. It is square stones, and there's 4 of those colors that are AB coded. And yeah, and if you don't know, the canvases or the kits from Diamond Art Club are always poured glue. It's really a high quality poured glue and a high quality canvas. That's one of the reasons why I almost only buy my pictures from DAC, is that I always know I can count on the quality of the stones, I can count on the quality of the canvas, and on the print. And if anything should have happened in the production, I know I can always write a mail to custom service, and they will help me out by getting a new one if there's a big flaw in the print or something like that. It hasn't happened to me yet, but I know for sure that I will be helped. I have tried to run out of stones, and I was just writing to custom service, and they were sorting me out. So it was really nice. I have got some new tools in today. I made a Danish video about that, and a Danish WIP and chat, but I will just show you shortly this one. I'm just gonna pour these stones back just to be sure. I'm a bit clumsy sometimes, and especially because this is a nighttime video recording, so I am a bit more uncoordinated when it comes to my how I do my moves and so, but it's okay. Okay, so I got these 2 new pens from Norse Alchemist. I got a new single placer from AliExpress. I'm not sure what to think of it yet. I'm not like wowed about it. So I might get another one from Amazon that is more like this one, because I like them really much. But looking away from the if I'm seeing away from the multi-placer and the single placer and just looking at the pen, they are really gorgeous. This one I bought because the flower, when I look at it, looks like it's standing in the resin. This bottom is wood, so it's really, really beautiful. And the other one here, actually, I don't know if you can see it, but it is a rose light purple color, and then the dark blue, and then there's some silver metal blade inside. So it's just beautiful. I love those. I have one in white with bronze metal thingy inside. So it's really nice. I love these. This is a custom made, so I just picked the blank and got it turned in a shape that I really love, and this is the one because it really fits my hand really good, and when I'm doing the turn from single to multi-placer, it's a bit more secure than when I have these. They're a bit more sliding around for me, but I still love this shape too. So I bought a new container package from AliExpress for my cross-stitch conversion, and it is it's quite big when I'm putting it up here. Just gonna lower this just a bit. So just to turn it around, and then I'm just gonna zip it open. Okay, and yeah. So here there's 2 layers of plastic containers. They are square ones and they look like this, and they open, and you can pull this off too. So I have these kind for my special drills, and I haven't worked with them as much, so but so far I think I probably will be taking the top off most of the time and just pour the stones off, and the same one I'm going to pour it in, because this is a small opening and the stones tend to get a bit in a way for themselves, I think. But wow, I will be much more wiser when I work with them. But I love the fact that these were a bit bigger than the round ones I have. So yeah, the 2 layers. So there's 120 containers all in one. And then here there's a zipper and a pocket for if I have extra stones drills. It's really a big space, and then a smaller pocket and space in front here, so I can have some tools or whatever in there. So, and then just zip it up. And I was a bit nervous about getting this, because in the commercial, when he opened it, it was really going light, but when he had to close it down, he just kind of closed it to here. And I know why, because the foam, the container in, are kind of moving a bit, so you have to be just wiggling it a little bit around. I really love this detail on the back. Is this elastic band, so if I should travel with this case, I could just attach it to my luggage when we're pulling up the handle. So yeah, I like that detail. So this is for my cross stitch conversion, and I did pick a kind that was a bit more different than the Elizabeth Wall I have, because then I know, I can just, yeah, just to have different containers for different kind of projects. I like that. That's a lot like me. I really need that kind of different things for different projects. So when I take that, I know that's for my cross stitch. When I take these, I know this is for my usual paintings. Okay, I'm just gonna use my Munimate trays. I love them. In my multi-placer, I have pink wax at the moment, and in the single placer, I have actually pink wax in this one, because I tried to put micro glue dots in, but it was like it was not really letting go of the stones, and it is a bit broad. It's kind of funny because I have single places that are kind of, you get them with this set of 12 uh, pieces, but they're really small and narrow in the opening here. This is kind of a big circle, but also a bit you know, it's not, it's just a bit big in everything. So, but I don't know, maybe it's just what you get used to working with. I'm giving it a chance before I toss it aside and put one of my usually single places in. It's gonna have a fair chance. So, and actually it's been for about a week. I've been working on this for a week, a little over a week. It said March 1st, but actually I started working on it seriously on the 2nd, March 2nd. And then, I mean, it was a Wednesday, so I worked more intensely on it Thursday, and then I switched the canvases around. I think I worked on it Friday day, and then in the night I switched around and worked on the I've Got You in the weekend for Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday I switched around again and I started this. So actually I think when I started it this Monday, I was on the top first row, so I've been doing 2.5 rows so far, and it's Friday now. So my goal is to hopefully be, I want to finish the row before I switch canvases again. So, but if I'm not getting there, I will try and get as close as possible, because I won't be working on this Saturday. I want to work on the other one Saturday and Sunday at least. So because I'm actually kind of I'm not really close, but I'm working on, think I'm having 2.5 row, no, 3.5 row left on the I've Got You. So it's kind of close to an end on that one. Yeah, the struggle is real. You know that if you do diamond painting and you do more than one picture at a time. I would have sworn that I would never do more than one picture at a time, but I discovered as I go along here that it's actually suiting me very well doing more pictures, because this one might be a bit more confetti minded, and the other one is it's smaller and it's a bit more color blocking. But there has been a lot of color blocking in the beginning of this picture, and I think that's why I've reached this part really fast, and now I'm just heading into the confetti as I will enter these part. In the middle, I think, and yeah, in the middle, it's really confetti. There's a lot of color changing. I mean, I have 64 colors in this picture. So, but what I'm trying to do is do a bit more fluent movement, like, so not so much in sections that I usually do. It's more like now I have just finished this part, but I'm already started working on the next part. And when I'm about to finish that, 2 or 3 colors more, I will be moving into the next part. So it's not what you call it, not a not reachable goal to finish the row today, but it will take some concentration and a lot of drill doing, but it's manageable, I think. So okay, I hope everyone is doing okay. In Denmark, they have been promising a lot of snow, but in very it's not a wide countrywide promise. It's been more like for some part of the country there's been a lot of snow, and some part there's been non-snow almost, and I'm living in the non-snow section, and that suits me really good because I have been out driving this week, and I'm not a big fan of driving when it's snowing. So I am going horseback riding on tomorrow, and that I'm really looking forward to. I have had to take a break from the horseback riding because of the financial challenging we have had. So, but now I'm back, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. When you don't do it, you find out how much you miss it. Um, that's how it works with a lot of things, I think. So, yeah, it's not really working for me with this. Unfortunately, the single place. I'm a bit sad about that. I expected it to be more like the ones I already have just in the gold color. But yeah, that's how life is sometimes. I'm just gonna use my multi-placer to place the one stones here and there. What I discovered is when I do have a lot of color changing, I'm actually just gonna whiten the area I'm diamond painting in, because then I can use the same color for a longer period of time, and that suits me really good, I found out. So I do multiplace as much as I can, and I think that's more like it's been a habit for me. I mean, it's like I'm just doing it without really thinking that much about it, and so in that sense, I think that when people ask me about multi-placing, I'm more like, well, if you got the technique and you know you got kind of a way, you got a feeling with it, the rest is actually just practice, practice, practice. The more you do it, the better you will get at it. And the more free you will feel. I mean, in the first picture I did was not a DAC picture when I first did multi-placing, and the first time I did squares. So, but those two together, multi-placing and squares, I did do kind of one line at a time, with a metal ruler on top, a metal ruler on bottom, and then just kind of get the stones to align. That was that was quite a work, but what I've discovered was that when I did place, if I didn't do this, I would sit and correct stones where anywhere on the picture, even though I was working down here. If it caught my eye somewhere else on the picture, I would correct it. That I don't have a problem with when I do diamond paintings, or square diamond paintings with square stones from DAC. They're just phenomenal, and they are just lining in as I go along. And my brain kind of know that now, so I don't have to, I mean, I don't have the urge to correct as much as I did before. Because my brain knows that if I'm not placing this, for instance, these three in a good way, it will be corrected later, when I'm doing the ones beside it. They will be pressed up and be straight. If not, I can just take this one. Sometimes when I place stones in the middle, they're kind of, all over the place. And if I feel like that, I'm just going to take this and just wiggle it a bit. And then the stones are moving in, aligning. But that's only possible because it is poured glue. If I tried doing that with a picture that was double-sided adhesive, I wouldn't get that result. I wouldn't get a result at all. They would just bounce back. If you have to correct a stone on a double-sided adhesive, you have to remove the stone and replace it. Not necessarily with a new stone, but you just have to move it all away so it letting go of the glue, and then you can try and replace it or place it again. So, okay. So I'm really enjoying this picture. I'm enjoying doing it, and I get to the, the point where I have an audiobook I listen to my audiobook, I'm doing my diamond painting, and nothing else in the whole world is bothering me. Sometimes I'm even getting so much caught up in it that my dog will come and kind of saying, "Oh, I want to go out in the garden," and I'm not seeing him until he pushes my elbow or my hand or my arm. And then sometimes it's like, "Oh yeah, just hang on," and I'm just going right back to my diamond paint. So when I have to be a bit aware when, when my dog, because he's not the one at this time of day in the evening, he mostly just sleep. So when he comes to me, it is because he needs to go out in the garden to do his business. So I have to remember that that's why he's coming around and pushing me. So speaking of my dog, um, I want to talk a bit about dogs for this week's topic, and the reason why is because dog is a big part of my life and has been it almost all my life. I was thinking of telling you all the dogs I have had in my life, because that's a story by itself, but I'm not going to. I want to talk just a bit in general about dogs, obedience training, and stuff I discovered or learned, on just how I am with my dogs. Today I have a flat-coated retriever. I have had a mixed breed. I have had a German Shepherd, and then 2 flat-coated retrievers. That's what I have had since I moved out of my parents' home. When I was living with them, we had German Shepherds. Oh, and I had an Austrian Pinscher, because that's what my hubby had when we moved in together. So we had a Pinscher and a German Shepherd living together, and that was so fun. They were so good at contemplating each other, like they were just yin and yang, and we were always talking about that if ever we had someone uninvited in our house or home or garden, those places, the small one, the pincher, would raise the alarm, and then the German Shepherd, my dog, would just come and kind of be, why should I bite him? Just show me where to bite him. I'm gonna bite him. So yeah. Okay. I have my rule number one, or how I see it, is that just because I love dogs is not necessary everyone around me that has it the same way. So therefore, if I'm taking my dog with me out in the public, he or she is going to be able to behave in a quiet manner and just be able to lie next to me. If I'm sitting down, he should or she should be able to lie down just beside me, and only get up if I'm moving. And if I'm owning a dog, the dog, whatever thing that is about the dog is my problem. It's not everyone else's problem. So my dogs has always been well behaved, and I have always been doing a lot of obedience training and training just in general. I have been a trainer myself and trained other people's dog and dog owners, and just been very curious about the dog language, dog behaviors. I'm not certified in any way, but I just have a big knowledge about it, a large knowledge about it. I have done my share of mistakes with my dogs, and I think that's something you just have to live through and learn from it. So the dog I get today is almost as perfect as he can be. Um, I think that it is important, like with kids, every dog is unique and has his own personality and his own strengths and weaknesses. And you have to learn them and to either work around them or try to change them. So um, I went to obedience courses and I went to agility courses, and agility was a huge factor in getting really connected with my mixed breed, that because I got him when he was actually almost grown up, or anyway a young dog. So, and I have had no saying in what had happened to him when he was younger. So it was really a good thing for him and I to do the agility course, and he was so nice and tired afterward. He was really a one-person dog, so but the other dogs I've had has been more like a family-oriented dogs. Um, yeah, so and what I learned too is that it's so important that if you have a partner, that either you accept that the dog is yours, and of course if the partner himself or herself are offering help, you can say yes, but if not, it's your responsibility and you can't expect them to do something on their own or just go walk the dog without you saying anything. On the other hand, the really great things about living with a man who loves dogs as much as I do is that if I say, "Oh, honey, please walk the dog," because we got home very late, or he's been alone all day, or something like that, he will walk the dog with no questions asked. He will just go do it. Or if I say, it's really hot outside, it's summer, please walk him as early as possible. It's no bother for him, and it's no bother when I'm asking him. He knows the dog is my child, and I am on some points I will be a bit more, not baby him, but be a bit more careful or considerate about taking care of him, and yeah, be aware if there's anything that could potentially be harmful to him. um so yeah. um so the dogs I have had has been a big saying in my mental health. They have been a big saying in how much I have been um active, physical active. I've had a lot of problems with my body since my 40s, and so for the past 10 years or so, I've had a lot of health problems, but the dog has kind of helped me just get out of the house and go for the walk with him. I walk for a longer period of time. I might not walk as fast, but do walk, and I walk for a longer period of time. And that really helps me. And I love doing that. I love do the obedience training with my dogs. I do feel like I connect with them in a completely other way than if I just give them food and, you know, pet them on their head. So that's really a big thing for me. And what I discovered actually is that my horseback riding, or my connecting to the horses, I do feel the same way. Horses make me happy. So it really gives me a lot of uh, happy and joyfulness in my life, and it had helped me through some really rough times, both with my body, but also in my life in general. And I think that it it has done it. It's been the reason for exercising. I've been doing. I'm riding for an hour once a week, and that I have been doing for the last 14 years. And if I have hadn't that, I wouldn't have been training or exercising at all, because I've tried a lot of different things, and they all tend to provoke my pain to raise and get more stronger, and get me a lot of side effects or side pains. So, but the horseback riding does not do that for me, or to me. So it still keeps my small muscle active and makes my brain happy. So it's a two for one thing. But the dog does the same to me, just in another level. Um, and I will say, if I did have the energy and the money for it, I would have owned my own horse today. But I don't have, so the next best thing for me is to just go out and enjoy that I have the opportunity to go horseback riding. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I am saving up for a puppy next year, and I think we're almost 100%, but maybe 90% for sure it's going to be a flat-coated retriever like the one we have now. But I do explore other options like the golden retriever, or maybe a Vizsla, which is a Hungarian hunting dog, but in the same group as the flat-coated retriever. My dream dog is still a German Shepherd, but I don't think I have the resources for that anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, I wish I had. I really wish, but you can't always get what you wish for. Then you have to take the next best thing, and sometimes the next best thing turn out to be the best. So, but I need to save up money, because it's really, if I'm going to get a good a dog or puppy from a good breeder, I have to put aside some money. So, but that's fair. I know one of my best friends is breeding flat-coated retrievers. Unfortunately, it's not like in the cards that she's going to do it with the bitches she has now. So, and I don't think I can wait for her to um, decide, because I'm not sure she's gonna do it next year, and this year's I don't have the money for it anyway. So, but yeah, it's a whole thing to search for the right breeder, and she is absolutely the one to ask. So I'm gonna have a talk with her, and maybe she knows someone who is breeding next year. Um, so yeah, and getting a puppy is like getting a baby. I love the smell of a puppy. That's the best thing. And the soft paws and the little noses, and yeah, but house training a puppy is also a big thing. So, but it's my job. I'm the one that's going to house train the puppy. I'm going to take the puppy out for a walk on during the day, and yeah, and then my hubby and my youngest stepson is going to be the one to go do the puppy class with the dog, and maybe some obedience class too. So that's how we're gonna split it in the family. um, I think that I do have an opinion on a lot of things about dogs. I'm trying not to I'm trying not to hurt anyone with the things I say, but what I have seen on the obedience classes and when I walk on the dog parks and everywhere when I do get around with my dogs, is that people with small dogs tend to have a way of thinking that it's just a small dog. I don't need to train it. I don't need to teach it anything. It's just okay for it to bark at the big dogs or attack the big dogs. And I'm often like, I don't understand why big dogs are attacking my dog. What and all more than often it's just a more due to people don't know than people do know and don't care. So and one of the biggest mistake people with small dog often do is they pick up that dog. Like I usually say, oh, well, here a dog with no legs. Every dog is born with a leg, almost everyone. But usually puppies are born with legs. And even though it's a small dog, it still needs to be on the ground. And what happened? And people are like, wow, it's okay. It doesn't matter that it's on my arm. Well, it does matter that the small dog, when you pick it up, you raise it above the head of the bigger dogs and in the eyesight of every strange people they meet. Um, and that makes them really big one. And small dogs in general do have a big personality. I mean, they're not afraid of anything. And if you kind of nurture that point of view, you are really setting your dog up for a fail. On the other hand, if you learn your dog to handle things on the ground, you will teach your small dog that sometimes they need to back off. And they are not to decide anything. They need to listen to what you say. They need to obey you. And I know some people think, it doesn't need to. But actually, yeah, it does. Because when you can control your small dog as if it was a big dog, it is an absolute delight, and they will be able to play with any dog. On the other hand, you will be the responsible dog owner to learn your dog that no, you're not going to fight every big dog you meet. No, you're not going to talk to every person you meet, a dog you meet. You need to be with me. You need to learn to sit when I ask you and lay down when I ask you and shut up when I ask you. So, and for some dogs, small dogs too, small and big dogs, this is an easier task than for others. Some dogs are made for the work with the people, the humans, and some dogs are made for work for themselves. So that's why it's so important when you buy a dog that you are really aware of what your needs are, what your resources are. Do I have the money for the insurance? Do I have the money for the food? Do I have the money for the obedience training? And so on. Because loving dog is not enough. You have to be a clear and kind leader. If you are that, you will get a really nice, well-behaved dog that everyone will welcome in their home, even though they are not that much into dogs. My old one, my mixed breed, I was alone part of the time I had him. So, and when I've been away for a whole day on work, when I came home, I would walk him, and then I would put him in my car, and maybe go for some fitness training, and then I would take him to his training classes, and we would be home late. And I would have a dog that just would curl up in the couch or in the bed with me and be so happy as he could be. He never bite anyone, anything, or he was really well balanced. But that was something that took some really hard time for me and a lot of resources. I did a lot of obedience training every day with him for almost his entire life. So he was a dog that demanded a lot of me, but he gave a lot return. So nothing is for free, that's for sure. I do hope if you do have a dog that you get the best with it. And if you have a problem, do seek help. Get someone to help you to solve the problem, because instead of replacing him, because often when you do have a problem with a dog, it's a bit of a mirror for you. Often it's a matter of you not being clear in your language, or insecure, or there could be some things you should look into yourself in your own luggage. And the dog is actually just telling you, well, when I'm with you, you make me feel like this. And then when you realize that might be true, and maybe I should change, you will often also see a change in your dog. And, it's not a magical thing. It does demand a lot of work, but the benefit you get, the outpay you get, is so much more, I promise you. A small trick or tip or idea: if you do have a dog that barks at the fence and does not want to shut up, don't stand in the door and yell at the dog, "Shut up!" Because when you do that, you kind of tell your dog by yelling at him that, oh, this is how loud we're going to communicate. So he will often just bark louder or more, just to kind of, I'm joining you. So if you really want your dog to shut up, go out, take a leash, go out, put the leash on him or her, and take him inside or her inside. Say, take the leash off, ask them to lay down, and just relax. If they are not done with whatever they actually initially started to do, you will go out, let the dog out, and start it all over. In the end, the dog will connect you just coming out, put the leash on, and quietly, don't say anything, just go nice and quiet to the dog, stand beside him, put the leash on, give him a treat, and then go inside, take the leash off, give him a treat, ask him to lay down, give him a treat, and then that's it. Then he will probably at some point start to look back. When he starts to bark, he will expect you to come. But if you're not coming, he will come back for you. He will shut up and come back for you and say, hey, where did you go? Why don't you come and get me? And then you can just ask him to come inside. Because sometimes dogs, as we do, get caught up in, whatever we do. And, oh, that was not the right color, I think. I don't think so. Nope. So, in that sense, you can break that situation and break out of it and do something else. And the same thing you can do inside. If the doorbell rings and the dog starts barking, well, that's a good thing. He should alarm you that someone is at the door. what he shouldn't do or she shouldn't do is keep on alarming you. So when you are at the door and he won't shut up, just put the leash on, move him away from the door, move them away from the door, ask them to lay down, and this might take some help from another person to do for a while. But anyway, move them away from the situation they're kind of caught up in and ask them to do something else. Maybe with a treat, maybe lay them down with a Kong or ball or whatever, and just move them away so they don't get caught up in that situation that makes you frustrated. Because if you get frustrated, the dogs get kind of frustrated too. And the dogs more than often just want to make you happy. Okay? I'm not saying this is working for everyone and every dog, but sometimes when things are not working, an idea can create new things and change. Okay? So I hope that if you have a dog and you have problems, please seek help because you have the dog for a reason. A very wise man sometimes said, you don't get the dog you want, you get the dog you need. And I think that's really true, that you often get the dog that's going to teach you something good. That's what animal can do for us, is actually get us back to nature, ground us a bit when we are flying too high, and still keep us in touch with our souls. So, okay, that's it for today. I have been working a bit more on this, and I'm going to work a lot more, but as you can see, I did put some drills down, and I can see I just have to fill some more of that color. It's just, I have a single one here, that's a star, and the stars all over the place here. And if I'm just gonna lift this up and see if, yeah, and a bit in here too. So yeah, we're gonna have this included as well. So now I've been working from this. Now I'm moving to work on this because this is almost done. So I'm moving to with my chair closer and closer. So it's doable. It's really a possible goal. And yeah, so just to say that it's not that I'm setting myself up to fail here. I think there's a big possibility that this is going to end out really good. Until you see each other again, we see each other again in the next video. Stay safe, take care of each other, and be kind. Remember, you never know what the other people you're standing with are going through in life. You might just be a kind word from you that make everything a difference for them. See you. Bye.